Hey guys, it's a beautiful morning here in Arizona. I still haven't quite figured out how to flip my camera around, but I'm here again. I wanted to share a story. Uh, um, it's an important piece of my life and experience. Uh, when I was 7 years old, I would go and get into my mom's closet and get into her bottle of chewable cherry flavored vitamin C's. Um, and one of the times, apparently, I went in there enough times during the day that I had finished off the whole bottle of vitamin C. Um, Needless to say, I got sick as hell. I started having all kinds of symptoms, and mom was doing everything that she could to help me get better. I mean, making up these concoctions that I'd never heard of or tasted before, and some of them were really, really nasty, and some of them weren't too bad. Um, but it did get to a point where I ended up in the hospital. But before I ended up in the hospital, one night I had been laying down on a old style yellowish velvet, like a mustard yellow velvet chair with a wood stand, and it had black wheels on the bottom of it, in my mom's family room. And I had fallen asleep, and when I was sleeping, I went into a dream. A dream that I had had many times before that. It was, but this time it ended up being different. But most of the times that I'd have the dream, it was that me and my mom and my two younger brothers and maybe some nephews, maybe sometimes my older sister that's just older than me, um, and we'd be walking down the main street from my childhood home and walking down towards the main bridge. And it's kind of on a slanted hill, so we're walking down the sidewalk towards the stop sign that meets the bridge. And we would stop about before we get to the stop sign. We'd always stop and kind of hang out. And a lot of the times, actually, it seems like every time the dream had prematurely ended before I could finish the dream. And sometimes the dream I was excited, and sometimes I seemed annoyed or paranoid or some kind of intense emotion. Well, this time we were all walking down towards the stop sign that connects to the main bridge down this hill, and we all get our chairs. There was two wooden rocking chairs that me and seems like one of my brothers had, my little brothers, and there was some other chairs, but there was specifically two little wood rocking chairs for kids that we had brought. And we sit our chairs kind of out in the road, not right directly out in the middle of the road, but just like kind of, it still was in the road, especially coming down the hill like that. And so we were all lined up, sitting out off of the sidewalk into the road, but off to the side. And somehow I all of a sudden was walking down the sidewalk towards the stop sign again. But this time, four arms came out of the sky, and from what I remember, their sleeves, they had long sleeves on with white polka dots. It's kind of see-through white with like a darker, more filled-in white polka dots on the sleeves. These four arms came out of the sky and picked me up, and I yelled at him, and I wasn't afraid. And I told him, "Put me down, put me down, put me down." And so they put me back down. and the dream ended or changed. I don't remember what happened after that. But anyway, so later, when I was in the hospital, I had been in there for weeks with a kidney infection because of the illness that the vitamin C caused a kidney infection in my kidney, and it was literally eating my kidney. So I don't know if it was day or night or what. I'm sure I was pretty drugged up, but I was in a room that I wasn't normally in. I was in some irregular room, and I don't think Mom or any of my parents or any of the family was in there, because when I told Mom the story, she denied it even happened. But I was in the room. I was clear out, and then I came to just as the nurse was saying, "She's gone." And she covered up my face with the sheet that my body was covered under. So she covered all of me up. And as I left my body, the room filled with white light, and even a brighter light in the middle of the white light appeared, and a man came down, kind of, I guess, from up from where I was. So came down out of heaven, or another world for sure. And he came to me, and he told me, "Come on, Annie, let's go home." And I was like, "No." I mean, this wasn't in words. This was all telepathy. So I'm doing my best to put it in words. And I told him, "No, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. I need to stay here for my mother." I knew she needed me. Maybe not then, but I knew she needed me. And I need to stay here for my family and my loved ones. I need to be here for them. And the man, I forgot to mention that the man that came to me was in a white robe, and he had red long hair. And his face was not revealed to me, but his red hair and his was. But anyway, he told me, he says, "It's gonna be hard." And I looked at him and I says, basically, I'll go through with this experience, and it's gonna be as hard or as easy as I make it. And he said, "Okay." And I was sent back to my body. And here I am. I stayed here for a reason, guys. I stayed here for you. That hasn't ever changed. And I hope y'all aren't thinking that when I had those experiences of death that another soul came into my body, because that isn't true. I stayed here, and I stayed here for a reason. Every day, I'm exploring and discovering more of me, just like you. We need each other, guys. We're not designed as human beings. We're not designed to live isolated and alone and to do it ourselves. Because the real accomplishment, guys, is when we can do it together with each other, with love. Help your neighbor. I'm not saying go out of your way. I'm not saying bend over backwards for somebody, when it ain't productive. But help your neighbor, help your family, help your friend. If you feel like, even if they don't see it, that you know that it'll do some good one way or the other, help them. I hope you guys have an awesome day. I'll be back on here. Bye.